you guys. This is the Retro Flora podcast. I'm Brenda.
And I'm Charmy, and we're just two crazy chicks with an opinion and a channel.
If you like true crime, conspiracy, and supernatural shit, then this is your channel. So today, you guys, we're talking about an unsolved mystery.
Ooh.
Yeah, this is a disappearance. The disappearance of Cynthia Anderson. So let's jump right in. Warning, the nature of this podcast is gruesome and disturbing. It contains graphic language. Viewers' discretion advised. Cynthia Anderson was born February 4th, 1961 in Lambertville, Michigan to parents Michael and Margaret Anderson. She was raised in a very religious Christian fundamentalist household. So basically a Christian fundamentalist. They value modesty. They're pretty conservative. They emphasize the purity culture, so they are like strict to the T.
So like the Bible is law to them.
Yeah, basically the Bible is law.
And
like,
literal.
Literal. Yeah, they take it very literal. Cynthia and her siblings grew up in church. They went to church prayer meetings, camping events, pool parties, church seasonal parties, church to the 10th degree of church for them. Like they went to church all the time. They lived at the church. Okay, well, they didn't live at the church, but they were at church. Yeah, they basically did live at that church. And we're not dissing church because we go to church, but like
we're Christians.
We're definitely Christians, but like that's a lot of church, you guys. Like I go to church and I'm sitting here like, yo, that's a lot of church. Cynthia was described as a quiet, obedient, and reserved woman. She was pretty social and had many friends. She even had a boyfriend who was part of her church. Her family began to notice changes in Cynthia. She began to skip breakfast, and her father said she became more focused on her looks. In 1980, 20-year-old Cynthia was now living in Toledo, Ohio, and was working as a legal secretary at the law firm office of James Rabbit and Jay Feldstein on East Manhattan Boulevard. That year, she began to have recurring nightmares of being kidnapped and murdered by a stranger, and that is when strange events began to happen to Cynthia. That same year, someone painted in big letters, "I Love Cindy" by G.W. on the wall across from Cynthia's office window.
What?
Yeah.
That's so creepy.
Yeah, like big, bold letters painted, "I Love Cindy." And it's like right across from her office window. So like every morning she'd turn and she'll just see like, "I Love Cindy." Yeah.
That is so creepy.
That's so crazy. Cynthia had no idea who GW was. She was the only Cindy who worked on that side of the strip mall. The sign remained up for 6 months before it was removed. And a few weeks later, that sign was up again, but in even bigger letters. Okay, I'm sorry.
That is
6 months. So for 6 months, she literally had to look out the window and see "I Love Cindy," knowing that somebody out there is like...
I wonder why it took so long.
I don't know.
That is so creepy. I would be freaking out.
Right. And then it's on top of that, she's having reoccurring nightmares of a stranger like going to kidnap and like murder her. So it's like this, the nightmares, like, girl, I would be on 10 because that is crazy. And then the audacity of this person to come back and make
do it again.
And make it bigger than before, though. He was like, look, I don't care if you erase it. I'm going to put it right back up there. The summer of 1981, Cynthia started to receive harassing and disturbing phone calls.
Oh my God.
I know, it's escalating. Like,
I can't deal with this.
This is too much. The phone calls were so disturbing and frequent that the employers of Cynthia told her to keep the office doors locked at all times. They eventually installed an emergency button at her desk that would alert a nearby business to call the police.
I feel like maybe should be doing more. Like, well, it is back in the day, so they didn't have cameras and stuff to, like, really see who was doing it.
Right, because, like, I mean, that's great that I have a button. I'm pressing the button while being murdered. So it's like, you know, I think they could have done more. Like, she's getting harassing phone calls, like, yeah, and signs popping up saying "I love you." Like, yeah, she's got a stalker, you guys, or maybe, I don't know, but that's just weird. Mm-hmm. The day before her disappearance, a client was paying a legal balance in the office when a phone call came in. Cynthia answered the phone and immediately hung up. The client said the look on Cynthia's face was the look of pure terror and fear. He was so disturbed by the incident that when he later went home, he called the police and requested they check on Cynthia.
Dang.
Yeah, so she must have really had like a face like of pure, like, I can't even imagine what, like, seeing someone's face like that. Like, they're just chill and mellow, and then they answer the phone and they're completely different, and they're just like, spooked. Because, girl, I would be spooked. Like, you scared? I'm scared now.
Like, honestly, I don't know what you would do besides, like, move away.
Yeah, because it's, like, getting to a point where, like, even people around her are noticing, like, something crazy is happening.
I think it's when he hasn't, like, tried to contact, like, face-to-face yet.
Yeah, I know.
Well, I don't know if he has or not.
I don't know either. Whoever this is, because, yeah. On August 4th, 1981, Cynthia left her home at 8:30 to go to work as usual. Cynthia was usually alone in the morning hours. She was last seen around 9:45 a.m. 10 a.m. calls came to the office but were left unanswered. At noon, her employer, James Rabbit, arrived to the office. He said the lights were on and the door was locked, but there was no sign of Cynthia. The smell of nail polish or nail polish remover was still in the air. He thought it was strange because Cynthia was known to leave a note or put the phones on hold, which she had not done. On her desk was a romance novel, which was left open to the page where the protagonist was being abducted at knife point.
What the hell?
I know, like that's so scary.
Yeah.
Because for weeks, for months, like, she's been getting harassed, and then she's reading this romance novel. The dude comes in and he's like, okay, so Cynthia's not here. That's weird. Door is still locked, but Cynthia's not in here. It smells like nail polish remover in here. Okay, that's kind of weird. Phones are not being answered. Okay, still kind of weird. And then to go over to the table and see that on her desk is that page that's open talking about the main character getting, like, snatched.
I wonder if it's a book she was already reading or a book that he, like, the stalker made her, like, is it just, like, clues and hints he's leaving back behind?
I don't know. Like, this is so weird. Like, and this is crazy because this is someone's actual real life.
Yeah.
Like, this sounds like a movie, but she really was going through that. There were no signs of a struggle. The office doors were still locked from the inside. Cynthia's 1980s Chevy was still in the parking lot, and Cynthia's keys and purse were still missing. And Cynthia's bank account was left untouched. To this day, Cynthia remains missing.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So let's dive into the theory. So there's 3 main theories. Theory 1, Cynthia had a stalker.
Yeah.
That's like the main theory. Like,
yeah.
That's the popular theory, I should say. We know that Cynthia had been receiving harassing phone calls. The police investigated the I Love Cindy sign. They looked into the initials GW, and one suspect turned up. He was the janitor who worked in the building.
Oh my God.
Yeah. He had keys to all the doors in the building. The police questioned him, but there was no evidence to link him to the disappearance. Months later, the man who made the I Love Cindy sign came forward and said it was for a different Cindy.
Does he have the same initials?
Yeah, he had the same initials. So
it wasn't the janitor.
No, so it wasn't the janitor.
So it was a
different guy no evidence
who happened to the same initials, who said it was a different Cindy.
Yeah, he said that wasn't meant for that Cindy, which is wild because she was like the only Cindy on that side. So it's like, you obviously got your Cindy's crossed.
Oh my God.
Yeah. A month after Cindy's disappearance, the police received a strange phone call. The caller was a woman who claimed Cynthia was being held hostage in a basement of a White House. She claimed that there were 2 White Houses, side by side, owned by the same family, and that the son was holding her hostage. The police searched for the houses, but that lead led nowhere. So that's, like, weird. Because, you know, like, there's some people who, like call and, like, give false information or just, like, play kind of, like, games with the police mind. I wonder if that's what that was. Like, if that lady was like, I just want to make something up. Because there was nothing that came from that. Like, they searched. They could not find 2 houses that were owned by the same family. Like, none of that.
Side by side.
Yeah. So, yeah. I'm thinking that somebody just was calling for, like, jokes and giggles. And
Dang. It's just so sad.
Yeah, because people do that. I don't know why people do that, but they just do. It's so disrespectful. Theory 2. Cynthia was murdered.
Yeah, I figured that when she didn't come back.
Okay, well, there's more to that, okay? It is theorized that Cynthia overheard information about a drug deal at work.
What?
Yeah. Well, let me go into this. In 1996, Richard Neller, an attorney working at the same office as Cynthia, and his client, Jose Rodriguez, were arrested for drug conspiracy. Jose was a convicted drug dealer. It is theorized that Cynthia heard something and was killed to secure her silence. In Jose's 1995 trial, He confessed to murdering Cynthia while threatening Neller for representing him poorly. The judge ruled that the confession was unreliable. The police determined they didn't have enough evidence to tie them to her disappearance. 2 other possible suspects the police looked into were the murderous brothers Anthony and Nathaniel Cook. I'm sorry, like, as my sibling, I would hope that you would not encourage me to murder, let alone we be a duel of murdering.
Oh my God.
Like, come on now. Like, you come to your sibling like, you know what, I just want to murder. And your sibling's like, yeah, me too. Let's just murder together. Like,
I feel like it's more to that, but...
Right, it has to be more to that. I feel like maybe one of them was murdering and the other one kind of got caught up in it and then they just started doing it together. But come on now, like, sibling murders, like... That is bad, you guys. Do not encourage your siblings to murder. The brothers murdered at least 9 young women in Ohio over the course of 16 months in the 1980s. In 2000, as part of a plea deal, the brothers confessed to 9 murders on tape. Both brothers denied killing Cynthia.
I think that'd be more believable, except for the, I love Cynthia and the whole phone call things don't really match up with it. Like the other 9,
Yeah.
So that's why I feel like that one's not true.
Yeah, they said they denied it and they didn't have any evidence to tie them to Cynthia's disappearance. So, but yeah, I don't think that they did it either. I really think that it might be. I mean, even the first like theory and the second theory, like the whole her overhearing something, that does make sense. But it just is like a coincidence because like she's been getting like receiving like creepy phone calls and everything like that. So I don't know. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And what really sucks is she was about to put her 2 weeks. Actually, she put her 2 weeks in. She was about to leave. She was about to go to Bible college with her boyfriend. And then she disappeared. The last theory is Cynthia ran away to start a new life. Cynthia grew up in an extremely religious household with strict rules. It is possible she wanted a different life. Her father said he even noticed her taking an interest in her looks and dieting the weeks leading up to her disappearance. He theorized that those changes could have contributed to her disappearance. This theory was supported by there being no sign of a struggle and the doors being locked. Even though there was quite a bit of money in her bank account, police theorized she didn't want to be traced, thus she left most of her money behind.
Yeah, but then so she painted the wall to as a scapegoat, or...
And that's crazy because I actually read a theory saying that Cynthia did this to herself. Like she was not the I Love Cindy, because the guy who did I Love Cindy came forward, but the whole phone call faking it and all that stuff. I read a theory that said that they thought she was doing it to herself so that she could run away or something like that. And I was like, I don't know, man. We're talking pure terror on her face. Like I said, the guy went home and called the police because he was so worried. Yeah. So I don't know. I kind of think I go with theory 1. I think that she had a stalker.
I go with that one too. I feel like that makes the most sense.
I would love to think that theory 3 is what happened. She ran away. Yeah, and she's happy, living the best life, Mm-hmm. But I don't know, because doing all that, setting up all that to then run away just doesn't make sense to me. I just don't think she would do that to herself. Yeah. So I don't know. What do you think? What do you think, you guys? This is an unsolved one, so I know it's kind of sucks because there's no conclusion to what happened.
That's why I kind of hate unsolved mysteries because I have to be what really happened? And it's this is an old case, so the evidence is probably gone. Yeah. And you're left wondering what really happened. And these are one of the questions I want to ask God when I die.
Where is Cynthia Anderson?
What happened to Cynthia? This is one of the I don't care about others. When I go to heaven, I'm gonna ask them all about the murder stuff. What happened to people?
Did OJ do it?
Yes, that's what I want to know.
I don't know.
Only God knows, and I'm gonna ask him. That's the first thing I'm gonna ask.
No, I just wish that there was more information on Cynthia, but this was in the early 80s, so yeah. But yeah, that is crazy. I really hope that theory 3 is true and that Cynthia girl, hey, that you're out there living your best life. We support that because we don't want to believe that you had a stalker and that you're no longer here.
It's just sad.
It is sad. So there you guys go. Our first true crime. Well, you made it to the end.
You must really like the sound of our high-pitched voices and quirky commentary.
You might as well like and subscribe to our channel and hit that bell to be notified every time we drop new content. If you want to follow our social medias, they will be linked in the description box.
Bye!
Love you guys!